Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we are going to be going over all the top 32 lists from YCS Providence. And also, before we hop into the video, I want to talk about what Konami did at this tournament that will change how Yu-Gi-Oh! Will be looked at probably forever. So the top 32 deck list, Konami actually released them all on their blog. So we actually have all top 32 deck lists, every single card, everything 100% confirmed from Konami. Which I think this will make it to where in the future, we'll get a lot more information from these YCSs. People won't be able to hide their deck list anymore once they top the tournament, because Konami's just going to leak them. Which I think is bad for like competitive players, but I think it's really good for like Yu-Gi-Oh! Overall. And it's really good for the people who like spectate and copy like these deck lists or learn from them, which should be everyone. But, okay, now actually hopping into the video, we can see that for top 32, Malice had 12, which was the most. Mitsurugi had 11, but I'm pretty sure one of these was Pure Mitsu and 10 were Ryziel Mitsu. But then we also see like 4 other Ryziel, which was 1 Heraldic Beast Ryziel, 1 Fiendsmith Ryziel, and then 2 Pure Ryziel. So we can see technically Ryziel had the most spots in top, but some of them are Mitsu. Like, one was a Pure Mitsu, one's Mitsu Ryziel. Probably should have like different categories because they are just completely different decks basically. But then we can see like Crystron got 1 top, ended up getting top 8 of Santoli. Evil Twin ended up getting top 16. This was King of Flames from DB. Mermail, Regenesis, Blue Eyes, which I'm very surprised that we see like a Regenesis deck in here. Seeing 1 Blue Eyes isn't that crazy. Seeing 1 Mermail also isn't that crazy. Like, Blue Eyes and Mermail are decks that you could just see sneak into a top cut for sure. But okay, hopping into the deck list now. So this is the first place deck list. This is Charlie Futch's deck. Going over the interesting things, we can see cross out called by in the main with Perulia. You know, so that way you can cross out Perulia. We can see that they're playing just the 3 bodies, no Night Sword Serpent. They are playing Star with Cross, which makes your Ryziel engine infinitely better if you play Star with Cross. They do play the hand rip Ouroboros, so that way you can rip 2 turn 1. They play the rank 8 that searches Tachyon. They play Dynamondo over maybe IPSP. Their extra deck's also a little bit more tight though. You can even see that they side deck the monster that searches for Lancia with the Tachyon. They also play 3 Tachyon, a little interesting. We also have this that can search it, which is honestly kind of crazy when you play Tachyon plus this that can search it, because now your Haba can also become Tachyon into search Lancia. So you have a lot of ways to search Lancia in this deck, game 2 and 3. And then Heartbeast Featherstorm with Castel. Heartbeast Featherstorm is something we will probably see continue popping up, as this is just one of the best going first cards ever created in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then looking at the second place list, this is Shuping's deck. Side decking the Ryziel Cross, not main decking it, no star anywhere either. Playing just very small, miniature Ryziel package, then playing a little bit more Fiendsmiths. You know, playing 3-track, double Lacrima, so that way Fiendsmith cards can get us to double Lacrima and try to get to duo that way. We also see that they play 7 Charmies. So how many hand traps is this? 7, 10, 13, 15, 17, 20, 22 non-engine? I think I may have done the math wrong or counting wrong, but honestly that would like check out because there's not that much engine. They cut a lot of the Ryziel cards and then just added like a little bit of Fiendsmith. Playing Bell in the main, interesting choice. I don't think it was actually that bad for this tournament though. There was a lot of Mitsu that ended up doing well, and then this also does work against Malice. It's not great, but it does work against him. And we saw Shuping actually win his top 4 match, game 1, strictly because of a top deck Bell. Otherwise he for sure lost. Not playing that many rank 4s, deciding to add another Requiem into the deck, and plays SP. Playing double Requiem for this tournament I feel like was really interesting because like we knew there weren't going to be Bystials. Like, Bystials weren't going to be popular, but maybe they just want a double of this so that way they can try to get like double Lacrima more often or something. I don't know. I would have maybe liked to see another rank 4 just to make the Ryziel card stronger, because there really isn't that much here. Cowboy for time, sure. Which I actually don't think this deck goes to time that often, to be honest, but maybe without playing more of the main deck Ryziels, maybe it does, because it is more Fiendsmithy. But we see a pure Mitsu deck, playing the Kaiju Mitsu in the main deck. I think this card's really interesting. We'll probably see this card be played more and more, especially in the pure builds. They actually do play Oh, okay, never mind. This is the quick play spell. I lied. For a second, I was going to say they actually do play the continuous spell, but it's just a quick play spell. I'm not used to the artwork on it yet, because I'm used to playing with, like, custom cards. But the quick play spell is not bad. They play the other ritual spell, the mirror with the pre-prep. They also played the 2 Meow, 2 Perulia combo, which I think they just wanted to main deck Meow so that way they could side deck less for Malice. I don't know. I feel like Perulia was like the better, more charmy for this tournament for sure. And especially for tournaments going on into the future too. I feel like Meow is just becoming worse. Okay, nothing else too crazy about the main deck. I guess they played Thrust Talents over playing more hand traps, but they just wanted to play Charmies, Dominus Impulse, and then other than that, it's just like Engine and Thrust and Talents, which this is also more Engine, but this is also like, you know, decent going first, decent going second. Oh, they actually side decked the Gordon Slicer, which is a new card from the new set. That's a board breaker. That's pretty cool. Then we can see a DTS top 4 Malice deck list playing 3 Chessie Cat. Playing 3 Perulia, 2 Fua, deciding to do opposite of what most people are doing, deciding to play more Perulia, because this card just, like, gives you the draw immediately, and I guess that's what they wanted over having more Fua, but I don't know, I really like Fua. I think this card's solid, to be honest. I think this card's better than Perulia, but I think Perulia isn't bad. We see Bestials in main, which was a really good choice for this tournament because of how much Mitsu there was. This would have performed excellent in top 8, which he did make it to top 8. I mean, he made it to top 4. He got 4th place. It would have been good against, like, every deck in top 4, because there was a Pure Mitsu, there was Fiendsmith Raziel, and Mitsu Raziel. So, like, Bestials are pretty decent against all those decks. We see Bomber, Noah Code Talker. More people will try that. They play Amirage in the deck, Dark Charmer. This card's also pretty good in the mirror match, too. You can use it against other things, of course. They side 2 Imichu. They actually side another Wizard, too. I actually have looked at this deck list already, but they said another Wizard for going first. They said Imichu's, the second and third one. This deck list honestly isn't like too far off from my personal deck list right now, but it's also not like super close either. Like I play 40 cards in my deck. I only play 2 Chessie Cat. I don't play the Bomber stuff right now. I guess it's like different for sure. Like I guess, you know, a lot of the cards that are the same are just standard cards that you don't really cut. Now we have GG Gibriel's top 8 deck list playing 3 Chessie. This should be very similar to like a DTS build because they worked on the deck together. We can see that it's just, you know, don't main I meet you and play 40. And then, yeah, just like little changes. Siding the GWC, sure. We see Crystron by Steven Santoli playing the same Crystron cards as Yassine was. It's crazy because a lot of people made fun of Yassine and they're like, oh, you know, just because he does it doesn't mean it should be standard. It doesn't mean it's correct. Which I agree. Just because someone does something doesn't mean it should be standard, and it doesn't mean it should be correct. Especially when it's more a deck like Crystron, the deck that's not like overly played by everyone. Like with Raziel Fiendsmith, you might be able to take more consideration into it. But with a deck like Crystron, there isn't that many good players actually touching the deck. So a lot of people would just copy a scene and go on their day, which maybe is what Santoli did too. But I assume Santoli at least tested for the tournament and just thought that this was the best engine to play also. Then they played Horus with 3 Horus bodies, like 2 extra ones, 2 King Sark, played the Charmies, Ash, Droplet, Super Poly. So only playing 15 non-engine, but having like Fua, Perulia, and then having like these 3, it's a lot of high impact non-engine at least. Even if we're not drawing as many as other decks are, we're at least drawing a high impact basically every hand. And you can draw these as a 6 card too. Then we can see, you can also like draw them off Msetti too, which is nice. We see that they play the World Chalice, Mud Dragon Garua. They play, you know, a couple rank 8s for their Horus cards. They don't play like any links, no like SP or anything either in their deck, no IP. See Salesman in the side. You can side this for going second. Just a 1-of though. I guess it's just the last card in the side deck. One of the last cards. They side infinite cards for Malice, and then yeah, because their deck is not very built for Malice at all, which is actually kind of crazy because their deck was actually built pretty good for this tournament. There wasn't that much Malice. Their main deck wasn't really built for that much Malice. Like it was okay in the Malice, but they were mainly using their side for it, and that probably paid a lot of dividends because game 1 their deck was built pretty good. Against every deck that wasn't Malice. We see 1 Black Goat laughs 2, no thrust or anything. I mean, it's good going first against basically everything. You can also discard it off like the Horus cards. Now we see the next list in top 8. 6 Charmies, playing TB11 in it, playing Allure in it. Plays Talents in the main, Called by in main. How many? 3, 6, 7, 10, 12, 15. Only 15 like hand traps. 15 hand traps, Malice in the Mirror, Talents, Called by. I mean, it's not bad. Like, it's definitely not like a completely horrible list or anything. It's definitely some interesting choices in it overall with the main deck. Side deck looks fine. They are deciding to play the Thrust instead of like I Meet You for more engine. But they do main deck the engine. Like other people are siding in the more engine. They just main deck more engines. So instead of playing more non-engine in the main, they play more engine in the main. Now we have Lucas Sacco's list with 2 Chessie in it. Playing 1 Droll, side decking more, plays I Meet You in the main, side deck Salesman, doesn't side deck any more engines, side deck Strike, Called by for going first, so 4 going first cards. Plays the TB11, plays Pit Knight early, which this card's like pretty mid. This card can out Chaos Hunter technically, but this card I think is pretty mid. Now we have top 16, Ryziel, Fiendsmith, Mitsurugi, which this deck, we play 2 Bystials in the main, play Ash, Droll, Fua, Perulia, Nib, Imperm, plays 2 Engraver, 3 Track to try to play around Droll better, and you just need 2 Engraver for your engines, so they don't want to play one of it. Plays the Node, plays the Cross, does not play Star, which once you start getting to this many cards in your deck, it does become a little bit more awkward, because Star is like a bad card to draw if you don't have other engine rolling, and like other Ryziel engines specifically rolling. And this deck's not as much Ryziel as the other decks, like no 7 Tachyon. You know, they're playing Fiendsmith cards in it. They're playing Mitsu. They play a big Mitsu package too. They play the Aramasa and the Kusanagi. Normally I've seen people just play like 1 Saji in this variant. If you're playing the Fiendsmith and the Mitsu, you try to cut down on like the bad cards in each engine. But they actually increased the amount of bad cards in the Mitsu engine and in the Ryziel engine. But obviously, more bricks is more power. The more bricks you add to the deck, the more power your deck has. But you have to find like a good balance. How many bricks do I want for how much power I can receive, you know? Let me see. Side decks Warning, TC Boo, Mitsu Trap. TC Boo probably went crazy. Now we have Jesse. I'm not going to try to say his last name, but we have another Malice deck. Playing Allure in the main, Metaltronus in the main. Metaltronus in the main was a crazy choice for this tournament. It's something that even I considered playing in my Malice deck for this tournament. I didn't even go to the tournament, but I meant like my list in general for the tournament if I were to go. I was considering this card pretty heavy, and I think I actually had it in for this tournament if I was going with Malice, which I wouldn't have done even if I did go. But being no doubt, Detonator is really huge. Detonator is definitely a problem for this deck overall. So having outs to it, especially something as good as Metaltronus, is really broken. But then Metaltronus is like really weird in the Mitsu cards. I think this was like fine for this tournament, but I think it probably wasn't even that good. And after this tournament, it wouldn't surprise me if they cut it. But now we have Ryan Yu's Malice deck list, which is the same as like the list that we saw before, so there's not really anything to say about it. You know, a lot of players work on deck lists together, and also Malice, there just normally isn't that much to say. Unless you have a list like this, wow, where you play 6 Charmies, 3 Ash, 3 Impulses to 12 hand traps, but then you play 3 Metaltronus, 3 Thrust, a Talents, you play a couple Allure in the deck, so you play like a good amount of board breakers, like 7 board breaker type cards. We side deck Lullaby of Obedience, which this is probably just the stones in the mirror. Yeah, it's probably pretty cool in the mirror, being able to call backup. This always works. Call Dormouse, depending on what you have. We have Mistaken Arrest, which this card going first, and like Mitsu is just straight FTK. Like, this card just does insane work against a deck like Mitsu. Okay, yeah, I guess not too much to really say about this deck. Maybe if you're playing like this amount of hand traps, like not too many, maybe we try to fit copies of Droll and Lockbird into the main, just that way we have more high impact hand traps, because right now we don't really have that many high impact hand traps. Now we have Kamal's Ryziel Mitsurugi list, which is the exact same as Charlie's as they worked on the deck together, so nothing to say about the list. Now we have another Malice deck list from top 16, playing Allure in the main, Droll, 3 Chessie, only 2 March Hare. Seen some people try to play 2 March Hare. I don't know. I like this card as a 3 of though. It's a pretty good card. And then we have the spell card, Monster Reborn. This card's becoming more popular. Pretty good against Mitsurugi, being able to take the Murakumo. I think that's why more people are going to try the Cerberus for Chaos Hunter, but it seems Chaos Hunter is not very popular. It seems like a lot of people have cut that card from their deck. And the next list, we have Chaos Hunter in the side. I knew that was going to happen. We have Fua, Perulia. We have 3 and 3, plays Middle Tronus, plays the TB11, plays all 3 traps, plays 41 cards. Yeah, I don't like this list. A lot of it's like fine though, but I don't like the list overall. And then we have the Shanjavari Evil Twin deck. This deck plays the 7 Charmies, 1 Nib, Astral, 3 Bestials, 3 Imperm. Wait. Is this the list he played? I think it is. Yeah, I think this is the list that he played. But he definitely changed it up. Because he was playing Super Poly in it. And Droplet. Well, Super Poly. I don't think he was playing Droplet. He tried it, though. I actually tested this deck. He sent me the deck list, like, a few days before the YCS for me to test. I don't really like the deck. Main decking all these Bestials was probably really good for this tournament. Going into the tournament, I'm surprised people were willing to main deck Bestials. Like, I think 1 Mag, 1 Druid, sure. But I think once you go past that, it's wild. And then to play it in this deck, too, is crazy. In Malice, I think it made sense to play 1 and 1. After the tournament, I do think it makes more sense to play more Bestials. Like, I think it's fine to do. They're pretty popular, you know, Mitsu. I mean, I wouldn't say they're pretty popular, but Mitsu's pretty popular. Fiendsmith cards are pretty popular. You know, these cards aren't bad. These cards aren't bad. Now we have another Fiendsmith, Mitsurugi, Ryziel deck. They decided to also play Cross Node. They played the level 4s in the deck. They played the triple Engraver, only 2 tracked, which is fair. You know, Engraver is stronger than tracked overall. It does play in the draw, though, but it is the stronger card overall. Like, when it comes to, like, pure, like, effect. Like, if the card resolves, you'd rather draw Engraver than just to draw tracked. We can see that they have Gallant Granite, Search Nib. They only play 1 duo, which is fine. They're playing Fiendsmith cards, so they have to, you know, use more of their extra deck space. They don't play IPSP, side deck Solemn Strike over maybe something like Solemn Warning, Judgment. Okay, on to the next deck list. We have another Fiendsmith, Ryziel, Mitsurugi. This one played Aramasa. This one does not play Aramasa. This one also only plays 2 Engraver, but plays 2 Lacrima, 3 Tracked. So wants to be able to, you know, turn Lacrimas into... Oh, they don't even play Duo. Okay. Yeah, they don't play Duo. They don't play Cross or Node. If you don't play Cross Node, you don't have to play Duo. You can still play Duo, because it does come up in weird times with, like, Lacrima, Charmy, and stuff like that. Or if you get stopped on your Ryziel, like Imperm on X, like normal Fua. Like, that can still get you to, like, duo into something. But okay. Next deck list, we have Mermail. Let's see. Obviously, no Toad in the extra deck. We're playing the Friller, Rapka. Sure, just a level 3 fish. That we can use to go ahead and do our Synchro things with, because that's what we are now. We are a Synchro deck. Only playing 2 Impulse in the main, 2 Nib, Perulia, Fua, Ash. I guess cut down on Impulse, because it's not good against certain decks. But even against, like, a lot of the Ryziel decks now, they're playing Mitsu cards, so it's like Impulse is actually pretty good against those decks. It wasn't really good against Ryziel before, but now, if they play Mitsu cards in their deck, all of a sudden, it is a pretty good card. They side deck the Moon Glacia, Minstrel, like 2 more Minstrel with Moon Glacia, so not main decking Moon Glacia, which I think is crazy. I think this card in the main deck is so good. I think even going second, there's times where it comes up to rip the hand. Going first, it comes up when you get hit with Fua. But on to the next deck now. We have Ryziel, Mitsurugi playing, you know, big Mitsurugi package in the main, which is fine. Plays Star, Cross, 7 Tachyons, plays 2 Ritual spell. Main decks the Trap, so what's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 non-engine. Okay, not bad in 40. Not great though, but not bad. Plays Cowboy for Time, Lizardos, SP, double Duo, double Eclipse Twins. Doesn't play the rank 8 to search Tachyon or anything. Okay, on to the next list. We have Kashtira Regenesis, which I don't really have much to say about this deck because I haven't really played the deck at all. But it does seem like you just play a bunch of cash cards because they make these cards work. So you're basically playing like a cash deck, but like, you cut Rise Heart, you cut like some of the bad cards from your deck, you cut like extra Births, extra Theosises, and then you put these cards in instead. And it's like, it's fine. I think the deck is like okay. It's not, I wouldn't say it's good. I wouldn't say it's like extremely bad, but I would say it's like, compared to the other decks this format, the deck is pretty trash. But this deck will almost for sure get support, right? And make it better, like the Regenesis stuff. Now on to the next deck, we have Raziel Mitsurugi. Playing Star, Cross, 2 Ritual Spell, 1/7 Tachyon, because they play the card that can search it. Sure, makes sense. Plays Pot of Prosperity in the deck. Sure. Wait, who is this? Is it, okay, no, I don't know this player. I feel like I've seen this list, though. The side deck, 6 traps, because we have 6 Charmies that we gotta take out. Now we have Raziel Mitsurugi playing Night Sword Serpent in the deck. Playing Crossout Talents in the main. Degusto Emerald. What else is there? Only one duo. Plays Super Poly in the side, so has a couple Super Poly targets. Doesn't play Mud Dragon though, plays the World Chalice instead. Kurikara in the side. Oh wow, so they have like a lot of board breakers in the side. So against a lot of decks, it looks like they're trying to just like, have the hand traps in the main, sure. Side into like maybe Super Poly, Charmies, maybe Kurikara, I'm not sure. Put like these in, and then you just have like more Charmies, then you have like a bunch more breaker cards, which these are like the best cards to draw off Charmies. Like, they're just really good to draw off of them. Very high value. Now we have another Malice deck list. Nothing to say about the main, really. TB11, GWC. I think TB11, I think this card should be cut from the deck. You really don't need it. It's, like, fine. I understand the value of TB11 and even drawing it a lot of the time. It's not even a bad draw. As long as you're going first. Going second, it can still be a little bit awkward. Even if you have Malice names, because it's not actually like pushing through the board. But I don't think you need this card. GWC, I'm still iffy on this card. Still need to test it. But TB11, I don't think you need it. I think you can cut it and just play more non-engine. Or different engine. You could play like an I Meet You in the main for another starter, because this deck does have like, I don't want to say it has like a huge bricking problem, but it definitely bricks. Like, it definitely bricks if you play it. Oh, they play Bomber, Enicode. Now we have a Mitsurugi Raziel deck playing the Sword Serpent, Star, Cross, Node, 5 Charmies. Main deck's Quick Play Spell. This card's garbage in this deck. They should not be playing it. At best, side deck it. Oh, they actually played the Quick Play Spell in the main, the Trap in the side, and the Raziel Trap in the side. Okay, I understand wanting to do this. I actually did this at one point where I tried to play a bunch of that. Oh, and they play Futsu in main, 2 Murakumo, and Night Sword. Oh, gosh. Oh, no, I don't like that. That's too much Mitsu. Too much Mitsu. But like, I tried doing stuff like this. Like, I think siding the Raziel Trap is not good, to be honest. Like, it doesn't come up that often, but it does feel really good when you get to resolve it and set this from deck. But it's just not worth it overall, to be honest. Now we have, let's see, we have not Mitsu, we have Malice playing triple Allure in the main. Okay. Playing 5 Charmies, 2 Malice Traps, side decking Thrust, Strike, Sanctum, D-Barrier, Talons, Called By, Infinite going first cards, and then just cards for Malice, which their side deck probably held them back pretty bad this tournament, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you have Thrust and Talons, so you can side, like, these cards that you can side going second into Mitsu, like, you have 4, but they're just, like, they're not that broken. Called By's fine, it can stop Lancia, it can stop Engine. But yeah, I think their deck list is a little bit weird for this tournament. I don't know. The side deck, like, just having your side deck only going first cards and only Malice hate just doesn't feel good. I don't like it. But I do like how they at least included a card like Thrust and Talents into the side deck, where it's like, even though these are going first cards, you can still use these as going second cards into certain matchups, which is nice. So that way you have going second cards. Like, if you play against Memento, like, these cards are basically just blanks. These cards are only going to work going first. So it's like, at least having like some more going second cards against other deck lists is good in a long tournament. Even in a short tournament, it's good. Now we have 1 Saji, 1 Kusanagi, doesn't play the Aramasa, plays the Star, Node, Cross, main decking 9 Charmies, 3 Ash, 1 Droll, 1 Nib, 3 Ultimate Slayer, Crossout, Called By, wow. Okay, so just play 1 Droll, 1 Nib for Crossout, maybe, and also to have, I mean, this isn't a hand trap to draw off Charmies. You don't want to draw off your Charmies, but Nib off the Charmies is solid. They play the Boral card that you can dump off Ultimate Slayer, then use this to banish, and then banish a Dark with 3,000 or more attack, and then summon out Zoroboros. I wonder how this package was for them, because they actually main deck the Slayer, which not many people are doing. They have the Dragon Mind in the side deck, which this is a new card that just came out in the new set. It says when a spell or trap card or monster is activated. Pretty sure we saw this in the deck list earlier. I just didn't read over it. But I think I should have, because this is a new card. If you control a monster with 25 attack or defense, negate the activation. If you do destroy that card, then if this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 25 life points, or 2,500 to go ahead and set it, but banish it when it leaves the field, and you can only use each effect of it once per turn. So you can use it on their turn, use it during their end phase to reset, and then use it again on your turn. So it's pretty cool. They play 3 Mind, 3 Strike, 3 Judgment. They play infinite Solemns going first, because they want to take out all 9 Charmies. Or probably all 9 Charmies. I would assume so. But then cross-out becomes pretty horrible, right? Because then it's just Ash, Droll, Nib. That's not very many cards for cross-out to hit, but I guess it is hitting, like, you know, the most popular hand trap, Ash. It's hitting Droll, which is a pretty popular hand trap, and then Nib, which is decently popular. I don't know. Maybe they leave a Fua in for this or something. Probably not. One cross-out makes it awkward to leave in, like, random one-ofs. Now we have the Blue Eyes list at top, main decking Bell, 2 Drill Beam, only 2 Wishes in the main. We can see side deck, nothing crazy. Extra deck does play the Ancient Fairy Life Dragon, which you can tag out your Spirit into this, and then this can attack while in defense. So that's really nice, being able to go ahead and boop, swing, get a bunch of damage in. People also just don't know that's a thing right now, so they're not expecting it. Here's Ruben's list, the current world champ. We have his Malice deck, playing 3 Chessie Cat, playing 1 Nib, sure, 1 Talons, 1 Allure, side decking I Meet You, side decking Cerberus, sure. Decided to play 41 in the main with Allure and the 1 Talons. Actually, I'm pretty sure he said that this was Hani's deck, except he put 1 Talons in the main. So, that's fair. Allure, good card, good card. Now we have Heraldic Beast Ryziel, which... It's really funny how this guy topped, because I tested this deck with a few people, and my one buddy Brian Chen told his neighbor about it, because he was testing with his neighbor, and this is his neighbor, and the guy ended up topping the tournament with the deck, which is really funny too, because it's like the old build of the deck that we had, so a lot of it wasn't even updated, and he still topped. We had Josh Kipp playing the deck too, but he ended up losing the last 2 rounds of Swiss to not top the tournament. See 6 Charmies, Droll, Ash, playing the 6 Tachyons, Bonfire. But this deck going forward is probably going to be infinitely worse. A lot more Charmies in the main deck, a lot more Droll in the main deck. Like, these are all going to be fairly standard, and because of that, that's just going to hurt this deck a lot. The format standards becoming better against this deck. Side decking 5 Solemns, Eclipse, Called By. Sure, 7 when you can go first. You can side out 6 Charmies, double or nothing. That's 7. What's the 8th? Or I guess maybe Book of Eclipse is also just like a going second card. So you could just side in like 1 book, 1 called by. Or maybe you put in like another book and take out like an Imperm or something. Because this card isn't that broken. Or maybe Metal Tronus. Yeah, probably Metal Tronus. I don't know. You have options. You have options. Now we have Pure Ryziel by Carl Manigat. Main decking Spooky Dogwood, 9 Charmies, Ash, Nib. Spooky Dogwood, crazy choice, by the way. I listened to his reasoning behind it. And so that way he can drop it, survive. Like, if you go first and you drop Charmies, you can lose pretty easy. Like, if you go first and you brick, or you just, like, pass turn, whatever, you only have 1 sword and a bunch of Charmies, you don't really want to be normal in this, and you want to Charmy them, but you want to live. Spooky Dogwood lets you live. It's also cool because Spooky Dogwood's a water. You play Toad. You can X dump Toad and Toad add back. You have Small World that can search Spooky Dogwood too. So, like, your deck actually has a lot of, like, useful things for time, which is pretty nice. We don't play Cowboy or anything like that, though. So we don't play any direct cards for time, but it's because their Spooky Dogwood isn't just for a time card, like they're main decking it. Obviously, it's not just a time card. They actually thought the card was pretty good going into the tournament, but then it also does double up as a time card, which is nice, having like a bunch of time cards. I mean, I really prefer having time cards like Cowboy that are guaranteed, like you'll have them in your extra deck, compared to cards like Spooky Dogwood where you have to draw them. But these cards that you that you have to draw, these cards do work going second in time. Then you also have Small World the Searcher going first. So you do have a lot of ways to get to it. Then they play tons of the Nemesis cards. These cards seem really sick. They main decked one Protos, that way Small World can search it. And then they side decked these. Banshee can search Nemesis Flag. You can also just hard draw these cards. The goal is to drop a bunch of chummies on them and stuff, hand traps. And then they end on a half board. And then we're able to play Ryzeal, get to Banshee Nemesis Flag, Arch Nemesis them, or just hard draw the Arch Nemesis and hit them with it. You don't banish cards yourself with your deck, but your Malice opponent can banish cards from you, which will make Nemesis Flag live, or like Blue Eyes will banish with Drill Beam to make it live. Now we have the very last list, which is just another Ryzeal deck. This is just, not as cool as the last list. This is just pure Ryzeal, nothing cool about it, not playing Nemesis cards or anything. But that's going to be it for the video, and with that being said, the DB Grinders signing off. Peace, have a nice day, stay safe.